You've been lied to for years. They told you motivation is the key, that if you just felt inspired enough, you'd finally get your life together. They told you to watch a few hype videos, read a few quotes, wait for that spark, and then you'd change. How's that working for you? How many times have you felt fired up one moment, ready to conquer the world, and then 2 days later, back to scrolling, procrastinating, putting it off again? Let's be honest, motivation isn't the problem. The real problem is what you've been taught to believe about it. Motivation doesn't last. It was never meant to. It's a spark, not a fuel tank. It's the firecracker, not the engine. And if you're waiting to feel motivated before you take action, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. The truth? Action comes first. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. You move, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. You don't need more hype. You need more habits. Because here's the hard truth. No one wants to say out loud, successful people aren't more motivated than you. They're just more consistent. They wake up on days they don't want to. They do the work even when it sucks. They keep showing up when it's boring, tiring, or painful. Why? Because they stop treating motivation like some magical emotion that's supposed to carry them through life. They replace motivation with responsibility. You've been sold a lie, and that lie is keeping you stuck. The lie that you need to feel good to do good. The lie that your emotions are the gatekeepers of your discipline. The lie that if you don't feel ready, you're not ready. Let me say this as clearly as possible. You don't have to feel like it to get it done. Let that sink in. You don't have to feel like it to go to the gym. You don't have to feel like it to study. You don't have to feel like it to wake up early. You just do it, period. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks, what's the mission? It's the quiet voice that says, we're doing this anyway, even when you're tired, even when you're unmotivated, even when no one's watching, especially when no one's watching. That's the difference between dreamers and doers. Dreamers wait for the mood. Doers create the movement. Because here's the thing, motivation is backwards. You think motivation leads to action. No, action leads to motivation. You get up, you move, you start, and the momentum builds. You don't wait for the fire, you strike the match. You don't wait for the wave, you build the boat. You don't need a reason to start. Starting is the reason. Think about the last time you didn't want to do something, but did it anyway. Remember that feeling after, that sense of pride, power, control. That's what builds confidence, not hype, not emotion, not waiting, doing. That one tiny action rewired your brain, because now you're proving something to yourself. You're showing yourself who's in control. And that's how real change happens. Not in one big leap, but in the little wins you stack day after day. So here's the question. What if you stopped chasing motivation and started chasing momentum? What if you stopped waiting for the right time and decided this is the time? What if, instead of asking, do I feel like it? You asked, what kind of person do I want to become? Because here's another truth. You don't rise to the level of your feelings. You fall to the level of your standards. And most people have low standards for themselves. They don't expect much, so they don't do much. But what if you raised your standards? What if you made a new rule? I show up, no matter what. That one belief can rewrite your entire story. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just operating on a flawed system. A system that says, feel good first, then act. Let's flip it. Act first. Feel good later. That's the system that works. That's the system that builds discipline, momentum, and real results. And that's the system successful people live by. It's not about being motivated. It's about being committed. You don't need another motivational video. You need a decision. A decision to stop negotiating with your excuses. A decision to stop giving your feelings the steering wheel. A decision to become the kind of person who does what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel. Because at the end of the day, no one's coming to save you. No one's going to do it for you. It's your life, your goals, your responsibility. You can scroll through your feed and keep dreaming, or you can scroll through your planner and start doing. You can binge inspiration or build habits. You can wait for change or become the change, but you can't do both. So which one's it going to be? You don't need to be perfect, just consistent. You don't need motivation, just movement. You don't need more time, just better priorities. Let this be the last day you wait for motivation. Let this be the first day you take control. One small step, one small habit, one small win. That's how it starts. And once you start, the game changes. Because the secret isn't in feeling ready. The secret is in doing it anyway. Now ask yourself, what would the disciplined version of you do right now? Go do that. And if this message hit home for you, if you're tired of the lies and ready for the truth, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. We're not here for hype. We're here for transformation. Let's get to work.